Jack Rains hadn't worked in 5 years, not since the DUI, the leaked video, and the divorce. So when an unmarked envelope appeared at his apartment with a contract and a cashier's check for $50,000, he didn't hesitate. The letter was simple. You have been cast in a feature-length motion picture. Filming begins Monday. All details will be provided on set. Confidentiality is absolute. No director's name, no studio. Just a signature, M. Calder. The set turned out to be an abandoned theater in downtown LA, boarded up since the 70s. Inside, it was lit like a dream. Gold curtains, pristine red seats, a spotlight on a single director's chair. A woman in her 30s approached him, black turtleneck, clipboard, severe haircut. I'm Mara, assistant director. Your script is in your dressing room. You'll memorize the lines exactly, no improvisation. Jack raised an eyebrow. And what's the movie about? You'll find out in the screening, she said, when it's done. Jack's dressing room held a single page of dialogue, just his lines, no context. Int. Living room, night. Jack. I don't know what you think you saw, but it's not what happened. No co-stars' lines, no stage directions. They filmed the scene under glaring lights with no visible camera. Jack played opposite a shadowed figure he couldn't quite make out. When they wrapped, Mara took the page from him and shredded it in a small bin. Tomorrow, she said. Same time. Day after day, it was the same. Arrive, get a 1-page script, film with the shadowed figure, never see playback. Each scene was more intense than the last, yelling, crying, begging. By the 8th day, Jack started noticing something strange. The lines felt familiar. They were almost exactly like conversations he'd had years ago with his ex-wife. When he asked Mara about it, she didn't even blink. Art imitates life. On the 12th day, the script page made his hands shake. Int. Bedroom. Night. Jack. It was an accident. I didn't mean to kill her. Jack froze. What is this? Mara's gaze was unreadable. You'll understand after the screening. That night, Jack tore through his apartment looking for the contract. It was gone. So was the $50,000 check. When he returned to set the next morning, the theater was different. The stage was gone. In its place was a massive cinema screen, already flickering with images. Mara stood beside the projector. We've finished principal photography, she said. Now you get to watch the rough cut. The room went dark. On screen, Jack saw himself. Not acting. Living. Hidden cameras filming him in restaurants, parking lots, in his own apartment. The scenes weren't fiction. They were his real life, edited together with the shadowed figure's voice asking questions. Then came the final scene. Jack in his kitchen, 5 years ago, on the night his ex-wife had fallen down the stairs. Only here, the footage clearly showed him pushing her. Mara whispered in the dark. Congratulations, Jack. Your confession is on film? Cliffhanger for part 1. The lights come up, and Jack sees uniformed police officers in the theater aisle. Jack's pulse roared in his ears. The screen froze on his ex-wife's crumpled body. That's not real, Jack said. That's been doctored. Every frame is admissible evidence, Mara said calmly. Multiple angles, continuous audio. 2 officers stepped forward. Jack bolted for the side exit. He burst into the alley behind the theater and froze. It wasn't an alley anymore. He was back in his own apartment. 5 years ago, the same night. His ex-wife was standing by the counter, eyes wide, wineglass trembling in her hand. Jack's breath caught. This isn't possible. From the shadows, the same faceless figure stepped forward, holding a vintage camera. "Action," it said. Jack played the scene out. He couldn't stop himself. Every muscle obeyed the script in his head. He reached for her wrist. She stumbled, fell. The crack of her skull hitting the floor echoed like gunfire. The camera kept rolling. The next instant, Jack was back in the theatre. The officers were gone. Mara was gone. Only the screen remained, now showing audience footage. Hundreds of people in a cinema watching his movie, gasping at the final scene. In the front row, he spotted Mara and the faceless figure. Mara looked right into the lens and said, "This concludes our live performance." Jack turned to run, but his legs wouldn't move. He looked down. He was sitting in the director's chair, hands locked to the armrests. On the screen, the end credits rolled. Under starring, it simply read, Jack Rains, himself. The theatre lights dimmed. The projections started over from the beginning.